But the saga continues on fixing Michigan's roads. Secretary of State Ruth Johnson has ruled that Governor Snyder did not violate the law when he urged residents to vote yes on a sales tax hike on the May 5th ballot during his State of the State speech last month. Now, meanwhile, it looks like support for the proposal is dwindling a little bit, and we have several groups that are now coming forward in a concerted effort to go against this ballot proposal. But I want to talk first about this accusation that the governor used his State of the State, and it wasn't legal for him to do that, to push that ballot yes vote.
Just silly politics. I mean, that's just more gotcha politics. We're used to that in Michigan. Never had any merit. And, you know, I don't know what did people expect, that they were going to go up to the Capitol and put him in handcuffs and march him away to the courtroom. I mean, it's just silly politics.
All right, so silly politics aside, now that you have these groups who are starting to roll a little bit and go against this ballot proposal, Stephen.
Well, I mean, I think I didn't expect to see much of an organized campaign against, because I think the support for it in the first place is so weak. You sort of thought the burden would be on the people who are for it. It's just another hurdle, though. I mean, I think the governor faces a real challenge getting people to vote for this. And again, I think there are a lot of people who are in the position that I keep finding myself in, which is, what do you do about this? I mean, it's really hard to make a decision to be for this because it's really awful tax policy. At the same time, our roads are in such bad shape that you feel like, well, maybe this is the best we can do, which is not a great position to be advocating for. It doesn't make you feel good.
Well, the scary part is it may be the last chance, because if it gets defeated and it gets defeated badly, this legislature's not going to go take up another kind of tax hike. The people will have spoken. What I'm seeing in this campaign is it's starting to mirror the governor's re-election campaign.
How so?
In which he's off to a very late start in trying to sell this, and he's letting the opposition sort of define the issue and get to voters first with their message. I am shocked that they're not up with their advertising. I mean, they fired their campaign crew they originally hired, resigned over differences with the administration, but they should be up and out there, because all you're hearing now is from the people who don't like this.
All right, Nolan, so what should that campaign look like? I'm going to put you in charge, and if you were in charge, what would that look like?
It's an extraordinarily tough sell, but the governor's got to move off this idea that he can convince people to vote for it because the roads are bad. Well, people know the roads are bad. And, you know, that didn't work last year. They didn't pressure their lawmakers to do something. In fact, they did just the opposite. He's got to sell them on the merits of a tax increase, and he's got to convince them that that's the only place he can get the money, that when he gets the money, he'll use it right, that the roads will be built to quality. He's got to address truck weights. He's got to address the things people are complaining about, and he hasn't done that so far. He keeps on, well, you know, it costs you $500 when your tie rod breaks. Well, people know that.
All right, so is that like I don't know, town halls for him? Is that, I mean, how do you spread that word?
I'm not sure how he'll do this. I mean, you know, when he was campaigning 4 or 5 years ago for the job, what I asked him about how he would convince people to do things that they didn't want to do, and legislators and voters, he did talk about that sort of ground level strategy, that sort of let's have town halls in people's districts and let them see how many people support these things. I don't know that he's ever done that to the effect that he sort of laid out then, but he's certainly going to have to try it now, because the numbers suggest that this is in some trouble, and if he wants to get it, he's going to have to work real hard.
What's he waiting for?
I'm not sure. Well, but the other question is, where's the money? Right?
Well, the road builders will put the money up.
Well, will they?
Well, they're expected to put up at least $15 million for this thing, maybe more. So, I mean, I don't think it's a funding issue. He's got business groups behind it, some, a good number.
Yeah.
I just think it's that sort of nonchalant attitude they took to the re-election campaign.
Well, but he ended up being re-elected, so maybe they've got something up their sleeve. Okay.